see this as a sign and try to fight back. But when the meters read max pressure, the corruptorator will sludge the sun babies. The Underminer will rise and oppress them all. It will be doomsday.
Terminate scientists when sludge is done pumping.
Custodian.
Hot damn. I love doing that, doing the Incredislam in the middle of a bunch of robots before they turn on their fucking force fields. It's really satisfying to see a bunch of them smack away. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play Incredibles Rise of the Underminer. This is the last video of the playthrough. Woo! And I just want to say out the gate before I forget, for the people watching this right when it's coming out, that part 12 of BioShock Infinite might be late. Obviously, I have the gameplay recorded. I still need to record the audio. The video is a little bit less than 30 minutes long. It's like 25 minutes. So it's not like a huge undertaking or anything, but I believe I have mentioned this already, but I'll say it again. I'm going home for Christmas tomorrow night, Friday night, the 20th. And I still need to pack. I have plans with people between now and then. I have other shit that I need to take care of. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to set the time aside to do that. I mean, I really wanted to put out... I need to record still my Christmas classic movie review, which I obviously need to record before I go because I want to put it up before Christmas, and I won't be back in the city where all my recording stuff is until after Christmas. So I have to... And I had to set aside time for this, so... I can do it, it's just a matter of figuring it out. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do all of those things. I may have to... If I have to choose between BioShock and the movie review, I'm gonna do the movie review because it's a Christmas thing, and it's also a Patreon thing, so it matters a little bit more to me. Whereas BioShock, like, it doesn't really matter if I'm just one video behind schedule. The game is kind of coming to an end anyway. But I just thought that I would announce that so people know what's going on. And yeah, you can tell with these things, the vents that have, like, the green gas under them, I didn't realize until it was a little too late. But they are the ones that have the fire underneath them. So that's how you can tell and avoid getting wrecked like I did. So yeah, I got all scientists. Which is nice. I don't know what, like, happens if you don't get all of them, or, like, how many of them you need to get in order to not be a problem. That was a weird little thing there. The robot was just standing in the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm getting my ass beat by these things. Yeah, so this is the last, thing. Can't really throw shit at these guys now that they have the, thing. Force field. That was funny. Only Mr. Incredible went down. But yeah, this is the last level, so as last levels of these sorts of games go, they just kind of throw out a bunch of shit at you that, you know, I think you use basically every move and thing that you've dealt with in this before at least once. And it's just a, you know, big sort of last hurrah before the final boss, who is the Underminer himself. So, yeah. But yeah, it's, fuck. dropping everything on the fucking planet. Oh, God. Okay. Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna leave all that in, and I'm not gonna explain what just happened. What was I even saying anything? I think I was gonna talk about, like, Christmas or something. I was gonna say, like, Christmas is coming up. It barely feels like it. It always, with every, like, big day like that now in my adult life, it doesn't feel like it when it's about to happen, and it barely feels like it when it is happening. I don't want to get too deep into it, but me and Liv were talking the other day about how we both, and we think many people our age feel this way, where there's something about the last, like, 4 years since we moved to the city and were in college and everything, and then graduated, but in general, with, like, working and just being out of school, we both, like, just feel like we're not tethered to anything in reality. Like, we don't feel like we have a direction that we're going in with our lives. Not with us specifically, like the two of us, but each of us. Like, I don't think there's been a single period of time in the last at least, like, 5 or 6 years that either of us have had any, like, idea of what we would be doing, like, 3 to 6 months from then. It's always up in the air. Just because of the nature of the kinds of jobs that are afforded to us right out of school, and just the day-to-day experience of time in our, in our day, in our modern times. And I don't know, it feels, it makes us feel, like, kind of empty, and, like, we can't conceive of time, or, like the passage of time, or, like, it's hard to really recognize moments for what they are, because, like, or to feel that you are authentically living a moment or a period of your life, just because, I don't know. I don't know why, but it just, we both felt that way, and, I mean, it was very comforting for me to know that I wasn't the only one, and I'm, hope maybe someone listening to this will get what I'm saying and identify with it. But, yeah, so reason I bring it up is that has been contributing to my, like, brain scrambledness, not just in videos lately, but just in my life for the last couple years. I just feel like, I have no real concept of time. Everything just kind of happens around me. I don't feel like my work or my actions have any actual, like, cause and effect. Like, they haven't resulted in anything tangible for me. It's, I don't know, it just feels like shit, and it makes my brain all boggled, and I can't make sense of anything. So, when I try to get into a regimen of even doing something as simple as making, YouTube videos of Let's Plays and shit, Mr. Incredible is such a fucking idiot. He never moves out of the goddamn way when he's getting hurt. I don't understand. Like, he'll just stand and do nothing while, like, 5 of those stink bug projectiles are coming right for his face. And they'll just all hit him in succession. And then he'll die. I mean, look, what did he do? Did he jump off the edge? What the fuck happened? Using the super move turned out to be kind of a bad idea, though, because you're supposed to use these to do that so that you can keep going. So yeah, this was after I had no recourse, so I just had to kill Frozone. And then, that was it. But yeah, so I don't know, that's why I feel like I sound very frazzled in a lot of videos, and, it's because I am. So, and I hope that it changes eventually, but who knows. So yeah, bada boom, bada bing. I don't really remember much about this level. As I've said before, when I would rent this movie all the time and play it, I would usually... God damn. I'm yawning and burping. I can't fucking talk. This is what happens when I record shit, like, earlier in the morning, and just my brain is pudding. When I would rent it as a kid, I would really only play up to, like, the first half of it, because A, the second half gets annoying with all this fucking force field bullshit. Like, pretty much everything, I would usually get up to, like, what's it called? The Magnemizer, and then I would be like, okay, if, you know, like, I would maybe switch to another game at that point, or, you know, whatever, or I'd, like, just forget about it for the rest of the time that I have it. So I just, like, it's not like I'm unfamiliar with this, or that this is all, like, when I was playing through it, it was all just completely new to me, although I really didn't, like, remember what was coming next in this level. This is the level that I remember the least, probably. I remember the boss well enough, like, because I get, you know, you remember the end of shit. Yeah, here he is right now.
So I can enjoy defeating you.
I can see him. Oh, it's on.
What? What's happening? I warned you. I have a message for your worthless city as well. Meet your new leader. When I am done with you, I will fix the Corruptorator. Will have your planet under my thumb.
The scientists are free and the plumbers are gone, Underminer. This monstrosity is out of order for good.
We can do this the hard way or the ice way. Freeze it.
Super. I had it all worked out. I had sub-bosses. I advanced evil technology and made doomsday devices worthy of maniacal laughter. You broke it all. At least you thought you did.
Quick, get him!
Oh, man.
What didn't we break? I thought we blew up everything.
We didn't blow up everything. We still needed to blow up the under guy. Yeah, I sped that up because you've seen me do it a trillion times. But yeah, here we go. This is it. This is the shit. This is the big finale. This is the end of The Incredibles.
Attention, friends of the crust. Witness the power of my personal Gilgenbot as I destroy your so-called supers. And I, the Underminer, will come down on all of you!
It's over, Underminer.
Pretty much.
Enough of this! Die!
Oh, I forgot about this robot.
I have a feeling we're gonna wish we could.
I like when he says enough of this, die. That's funny. But yeah, so the Underminer has this giant mech, and he doesn't really make use of it. He just uses it to lift up the road, and then he is in his smaller mech, and you fight him that way. I guess trying to fight this giant robot probably would have been difficult. It would have been more interesting than just, you know, fight 25 enemies in between each phase of the boss like everything else, but whatever. So I have two things I want to talk about, and I think one of them should come before the other. The first was about the game's story, which I haven't really talked about because it doesn't really exist. Normally, when I play video games, I try to sort of extrapolate some things from, either the story or the aesthetics of the games, or at least that's my sort of modus operandi with this channel. The reason that the commentary for this has been so, like, rambly, and I've talked about my unemployment in the last one and shit, is really because it doesn't really, like, it's an extension of The Incredibles, and that could be interesting because The Incredibles is an interesting story, but it doesn't really extend the narrative all that much. It has pretty much nothing to do with the family at all, and, you know, nothing of consequence really happened. They beat the Underminer. That's it. The conflict of the story is that the Underminer happened at the end of the last movie, and this is how they beat him up. And they do it by going into his machines and blowing them up. So, and just punching. Mr. Incredible and Frozone's fists must be fucked. Like, they must be unrecognizable as hands, because they have been just punching straight up metal, and like blowing up machines with their hands. I mean, I know they're superheroes, but Jesus Christ, it must not feel great to... I've punched at this point, it's gotta be upwards of like 300 robots, so they're really doing crazy. But yeah, this is how you do this, is that you wait for him to do his spin move, and then you freeze him, and then you just get as many hits on him as you can. And his bar goes down pretty quickly, so it's not all that hard. The only problem is you have to wait for him to do all of his dog shit, and every single phase takes like 15 minutes longer. I don't really know why. I hate when this shit happens with bosses in these kinds of games, where they have a phase where all you really need to do is just wait for them to cuck themselves so that you can hurt them. And just between each phase, they add what seems to be an arbitrary amount of time of them not doing that. I mean, like, I don't know, I guess it's challenged because you have to dodge whatever they do, but it just feels like a way of padding out a boss that's really simplistic. I think a more interesting one would be have one where you, like, are climbing up this giant mech and are, like, you know, destroying parts of it as you go up, and, you know, maybe also hurting robots, and then you get up to the top and you get to rip off the Underminer's fucking head. I mean, you don't have to do that, but, you know, going up the mech would be interesting, but you know, you're just on a flat piece of ground, and you fight a bunch of enemies, and he comes out and he, you know, does a bunch of ineffectual shit, and then you hit him 3 times, and then you just wait 10 minutes and do it all again. And it's just kind of uninteresting. But yeah, so, but yeah, the story, the game doesn't have much of anything of a story, but that is part of what I like about it and why I wanted to play it, and why I like playing shit like this. Because, you know, it's... And I wish there were more games like it. I talked earlier about how I wish they made as many licensed games out of, like, new children's stuff as I feel like they did when I was a kid. That actually feels like, you know, a game like this, or like Battle for Bikini Bottom, and not just some dog shit. But, you know, they're you know, trashy. They're kind of not like, you know, obviously not like super polished games. They have pretty low budgets, pretty short like turnaround times for everything. But like, that's not a bad thing. Like, it's it doesn't make it a bad game, and it's nice to have games that are just like short little jaunts that, you know, are easy to pick up. And, you know, as much as I love a good meaty story, a lot of games with more complex stories kind of fuck them up. I mean, BioShock Infinite is a great example of that. I like that game because it has one of the more interesting and compelling stories in a video game, like, in terms of themes, not necessarily... I mean, the plot is fine, but, like... I mean, in terms of themes, but it fucks them up. I've spent the last, like, 3 videos of that LP talking about how I think they're dumb. Like, I think the political and moral messaging of the movie is, like, shitty. So, and like Grand Theft Auto games, like I used to, as a kid, I loved all the Grand Theft Auto games stories, until you realize that they are basically just like gangster / crime stories, but without like characters that make sense. Like, the main characters of GTA games never make all that much sense to me. GTA 5 has the characters that are, like, the most believable as people to me. But the problem with that game's story is that, it doesn't really, like, go anywhere, do anything with that concept. Or at least I don't think. And when it does try to, like, be about something, I just don't think it's all that smart about it. But I also haven't played the GTA 5 story in a while, so maybe if I, you know, came back to it, then I would like it. Yeah, I sped this part up because it takes way too fucking long. Like, there's no reason that this boss should take, like, more than 10 minutes when you have to hit him, like, 10 times. But anyway... but I like games like this where you can, some games are better for just having it be straightforward, nothingness stories that get you from point A to point B. I mean, I wish this game's areas and gameplay had a little more depth and personality to make up for that lack of a story, but that was funny. That's a funny way to go. But it's not a game-ruining thing at all.
Crazy save the world today. Cool.
Still very shiny. And there you have it, folks. That's how the Underminer went down. That's literally it. That's the end of the story. There's no more. And you can still level up and redo stuff if you want, but I'm not gonna do that. There are bonus mission level things. I'm probably not gonna do them, but there's 3 of them. I think I showed them. I don't know. Maybe they're at the end of this video. I don't remember. I edited this like a week ago, so I don't remember, but, yeah. But that was Rise of the Underminer. I hope it was interesting. I hope it was a fun game to watch. I know that it's not, you know, terribly deep or whatever. And I say a lot of disparaging things about the quality of, like, this game and these types of games, but I want to reiterate that it is not meant to be derisive, because I like these games. I like playing, like, there's a reason that I've played them a lot and that I want to LP them. They aren't the best games ever, but they are pleasant, they're pretty easy, they're pretty short, they remind me of simple times in my life, and I am a proponent of shamelessly indulging in whatever throwaway, superfluous garbage you are drawn to, and this is what I was drawn to as a kid, this is what I have a relationship with, blah blah blah. I'm hoping that as time goes on with this channel, I can sort of expand the kinds of games that I do. That was what BioShock Infinite was sort of an attempt at doing. Was to sort of step out of the licensed game territory. That all being said, I likely will be going on to another licensed game after BioShock Infinite, but I'm not sure. Or, okay, so I might end up doing a poll, I'm not sure, but I, like, when BioShock ends. So there's a licensed game, and I'm not going to say it just because I'm an idiot, but you probably all already know what it is. There's a licensed game that I was going to do after BioShock Infinite. It's not very long. It's about as long as BioShock. But there is another one that I wanted to do as my Tuesday-Thursday LP, and I don't know if people care or if they want to have 2 different licensed games going, like licensed platforming games going at once. They're very different kinds of games. Excuse me, I sneezed. They're very different kinds of games, but I can understand if people don't want to see, like, the main one is the SpongeBob game. That shouldn't be a surprise. And then the other one is another one. So, like, I don't know, let me know about that if you want, if you like, have a specific preference to not have that, because I'm fine with, I have other games that I would do in its place, but let me know if you would rather see, after BioShock, another longer, and by longer, it's pretty marginal, licensed game, or semi-shorter one as the Tuesday-Thursday LP for a while, with main LP being something else. Well, thank you guys for watching, again, Incredibles Rise of the Underminer, and if I do not see you tomorrow for BioShock, then I will see you after the holidays. I hope that you have a good holiday, whatever you celebrate, and I will see you for the next short game that we'll do, which I will start in the last week of December / first week of the new year after I get back from Christmas time. So yeah, thank you all again. I'll see you next time. I love you.